to my YouTube channel. This is Mr. Charles once again. Before I do start, please like, subscribe, and comment. I will be continuing with the Life of Pi analysis. Today we're doing chapter 49. Very interesting chapter if you read it very carefully, okay? Grade 12, you need to read. You know, I'm not here to replace the novel. You need to read, you need to read, you need to read. All I do is I clarify a few things. I elucidate a few, problem areas. That's all I do. So chapter 49, I think what is important here is Pi's state of mind. And the state of mind, we get a glimpse into his survival state of mind. So what is Pi looking for? He's looking for sustenance. What is sustenance? He's looking for food and water. Okay, so I mean, this is the first glimpse we get into Pi looking for resources. Because of fear and because of the threat of the hyena and Richard Parker. Because you go into survival mode, you sometimes forget that you need to eat. And he realized after 3 days that, I need to eat something. More importantly, I need to drink something. Okay, so Pi's looking for sustenance. More important, he's looking for fresh water to consume. Okay, also, in chapter 49, there is some sense that he's losing hope. He's losing hope, and when you lose hope, he makes this point, I think, about a tennis player. When you take on a champion, right, and you are competing with a champion, and the champion is beating you, he's beating you. Eventually, psychologically, you realize that you have nothing to lose. And because you have nothing to lose, you give it your all. So I think that is Pi's state of mind now. Because he's on a lifeboat, he lost his family. There's a threat of Richard Parker. There's a threat of the hyena as well. He has nothing to lose at this stage. Of course, his life. But he has the willpower to really persevere. So what is taking preference here, grade 12, is that it is sustenance before tiger. It is sustenance before hyena. It is sustenance before the fear of the tiger and the fear of the hyena. Okay, so Pi is preoccupied more so with feeding himself, looking for food, looking for sustenance in order to survive. Okay, it's even replacing the fear of Richard Parker. He says, yes, I'm fearful for my life, but I need to eat. I need fresh water as well. Okay, so there is some degree of Pi losing hope, but he obviously regains his hope as well because of his religious, influences. Then, what I want to speak about is Richard Parker. For some reason, Richard Parker is not attacking. He's very passive. For some reason, Richard Parker is very passive. And I'm referring to Richard Parker as a tiger and not the alter ego yet. He's very passive. And I needed to explain for 2 marks Parker's passivity. Why do you think Richard Parker is passive? Okay. Some of you might say because of seasickness. That is true. It could be that because of seasickness, that's the reason why Richard Parker did not attack immediately. Some of you might even say because of sedation. So remember that the animals were sedated before the journey. Mr. Santos Patel, he sedated all the animals before the journey. And that could also be a reason why Richard Parker, is not really full of energy and full of aggression to attack. This is according to Pi. So it's seasickness and sedation. Could be the reasons why Parker is not attacking. Either the hyena or Pi himself. Okay, so chapter 49, very interesting. What's important here, grade 12, is that we get this inclination. We're getting this idea now that Pi is going into survival mode. Okay, because his instinct here is sustenance. He says in chapter 49 that his water somewhere. I just need to find the water. I need to find the water. We need to find the man's water. It's somewhere you need to find the water. Okay, so sustenance, it's a good word. Please use that word in your essay or in your contextual questions as well. And remember that Pi is fearful of Parker, but more importantly, he's fearful that he might die due to dehydration or starvation. Please like, subscribe, and do comment. Chapter 49. Cheers.